Okay, I'm ready. Okay. Well, good afternoon. We're welcoming you to Estes Field, game number 2 of the Central Methodist Classic. And it's Central Methodist taking on Columbia College. Quentin Norris sitting in the catbird seat. Central Methodist, they are coming to today's game 10-3. Columbia College is 9-7. Central Methodist earlier, they lost to Oklahoma City 6-4. Of course, the highlighter was Tanner Sears with a homer and 2 RBIs. Carlos DeGron hit a home run and had a home run as well. That came in as part of the 3-run 5th inning there. They had a 4-2 lead, but then Oklahoma City scored 3 in the 6th, and then one more in the 7th for the 6-4 loss for Central Methodist. Columbia College, they also lost to Oklahoma City on Saturday night, 5-4. Of course, that was a fun little game there. It was a good pitchers to Columbia. Oklahoma City led 1-0, and then it was 2-0 at the end of 4. But then Columbia led 3-2 thanks to a 3-run homer by Braden McGinnis. That made it 3-2. But then Oklahoma City scored 3 in the 6th. Then Columbia added one more in the 7th inning thanks to a home run by Tyler Wren to close out the book on the 6-4 on that 5-4 game there as well. Coaches for Columbia College, that's Darren Munns. Of course, he used to be an assistant coach at Central Methodist during the early 2000s under head coach Jim Dafkus. While Central Methodist, that's Nate Breland there as well. Of course, if you look up ahead of the hitting wise there, of course, Central Methodist, still Carlos DeGron, who has a total who has, of course, 9 homers and 24 RBIs on the year as well. Of course, he's their leading hitter. 9 homers, 22 RBIs on the year. Of course, Clayton Burke got a no decision as well. Wow. For Central Methodist, of course, their upcoming events are, of course, Tuesday. Central Methodist men will be taking on Peru State. That's a 7 o'clock start time in the first round of the conference tournament at Puckett Fieldhouse there. Central Methodist, the 4 seed, takes on the 5 seed. The winner will play either Mid-American Nazarene or Missouri Valley. Central Methodist women, they're home. They'll be on the road to Clark University on that Wednesday night, 7 o'clock here, for their first round game as well. On the other side, of course, the next matches for softball will be on Friday. They'll be taking part in the town of Gulf Shores, Alabama. They'll play 6 games altogether. They'll play 2 on Friday. I think the first game is at 9 a.m. against Tennessee Southern. We don't know the second game. We don't know the Saturday game. We know the Sunday game is at 8 a.m. against Texas A&M Texarkana. So we don't know that one. So hopefully we'll get an update on the schedule there. The next home game is March the 7th, taking on the University of St. Mary's, a 2 o'clock doubleheader at the Cox Softball Complex. Of course, Central Methodist baseball, they'll be starting their conference season on Saturday, they'll be taking on the Graceland. Doubleheader starts at 1 o'clock on Saturday, 12:45 pregame show. Second game at 3:30, and then games 3 and 4 will be Sunday. Pregame show at 12:45, 1 o'clock first pitch. Second game at 3:30 p.m. We're going to take a break there. We'll continue our pregame show on CMUEagles.com.
No matter where you are in your educational journey, Central Methodist University is here for you. With CMU, you can learn on our beautiful campus in Fayette, Missouri, earn a degree completely online, or attend classes at one of our many statewide sites. Whichever path you choose, you will get a quality education that will...
At Estes Field, both these teams, looks like both coaches will meet. They'll talk it over, meet with the umpiring crew. They call it the Men in Blue. It's Central Methodist and Columbia. Of course, Columbia's next game is Friday, Saturday, a 4-game series, taking on Viterbo. Now be played at Battle High School. I do believe, according to head coach Darren Munns, because normally they'd be playing out in the area where the old fairgrounds is, but I think they're going to be playing more games at Battle High School because Battle High School has the turf field. And the great thing is you can have more games being played on the turf. So there goes the umpires. There as well. So Central Methodist and Columbia. So we're about ready to get started. I believe their conference. Boy, it seems like just yesterday we're getting started. Now we're heading to March, and it's time for the conference season to get started there as well. If you look at the conference, I think it's going to be very competitive. I think Central is probably still the favorites. And then along with that, I think the other team you kind of keep an eye on there, I think you could say maybe Clark could be another team to watch out for. Then you might say Benedictine, probably another team. Benedictine's always a good team. But then, of course, Mid-American Nazarene, I know I think they'll be coming out ready to play by the time they get into conference play as well. There's Nate Breland, the coach there, meeting with the umpires. Go ahead and give you the starting lineups there for Columbia College. That's Braden DeSonia. Batting second is their left fielder, Caton Nicoletto. That's Tyler Wren at third base. First baseman is Braden McGinnis. Down in the fifth, second baseman, Nick Fleckenstein. Batting sixth is designated here, Danny Ortega. Batting seventh, there's shortstop, Devin Lopez. Batting eighth, that is their catcher, Joe Horschler. David Dell will be in center field. And today's starting pitcher, number 29, Cam Nagon. That's Darren Munns, the head coach there for your Central Methodist Eagles. That's Bobby Nichols in center field. That is Valentin Cerna Jr. is at second. Tanner Sears, the catcher. Carlos DeGron in right. Jeremy Conforti is the DH. Diego De Ron is at third. Zab Weedy is in left. Joseph Weatherford is at first. And, of course, David Soriano is at shortstop. And today's starting pitcher is Foster Seitz. So we're about ready to get started. We're going to set the defense for you there. It is sponsored by Emmett's Kitchen Tam. Out in left field, Zeb Weedy is in left. Bobby Nichols in center. Out in right field, Carlos Negron. At third base is Diego Diorin. Shortstop, David Soriano. Second baseman, Xavier Zerna. Valentin Zernas Jr. is at second. Joseph Weatherford is at first. The catcher is Tanner Sears. And there's Foster Seitz on the mound there from St. Louis. 2-1 with a 4 ERA, 6 walks, 11 strikeout. Of course, had a great visit with his mom, Jill, dad, Greg, and along with Foster's aunt from Columbia, South Carolina, making the trip to Fayette. Just a beautiful day here at Central Methodist. As Ernie Banks said, let's play 2. And it looks like the temperatures are heading toward the 70-degree mark on this Sunday, February the 25th. Of course, Foster Seitz came from Radford University. More fans starting to file in. So now here is Braden D'Asonia. 2 homers, 6 RBIs on the season. D'Asonia is the batter. Even though it's a 3, but I think we're going to start early. As Foster Seitz will work from the stretch, getting the sign from Tanner Sears. First pitch. Foul ball came at 2:56 p.m. Temperature 70 degrees. Time and temperature sponsored by the parking spot. Easy to spot, easy to park. The parking spot here at the Kansas City International Airport. A strike call. 0-1 now. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2 the count. This is my 22nd 2,200th Central Methodist game. 0-2 and a foul ball. Oh and 2 the count on Braden D'Asonia. That's inside. 1-2 there. One ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. The ground ball, that's foul. Still 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes on Braden D'Asonia. Here's a ground ball to the second baseman. That's Valentin Cerna Jr. to Joseph Weatherford for out number 1. Here is Caden Nicoletto. 3 homers, 16 RBIs from Australia. I believe around the Sydney area, which was the site of last summer's Women's World Cup. The Women's World Cup for soccer. That was also played in Kelsey Walker's neighborhood of New Zealand. Of course, is a member of the volleyball team. Looking forward to seeing her this upcoming year. 0-1 pitch. That's a ball, 1-1 to count. 1-1 to count. Columbia in the gray uniform, navy trim, navy numerals. Fouls it off. 1-2 the count. One ball, 2 strikes on Caden Nicoletto. 1-2 pitch. That's ball 2, 2-2 the count. Two balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch. Fly ball in the left field. Waiting, makes a catch. Oh, baby, as Mel Allen used to say on This Week in Baseball, how about that? Here's Tyler Wren up there, 3 homers, 17 RBIs. Came from Jefferson City, hit a home run. And that's seventh. That's a strike call, 0-1 now. That came in that seventh inning against Oklahoma City. That made it 5-4. Swings and misses, 0-2 the count. Foster Sights on a roll now. 0-2 now on Tyler Wren. Braden McGinnis is on deck. 0-2. Fouls it off. One. It's still 0-2. Still 0-2 on Tyler Wren. Swings and misses a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the first inning. No score here. And we'll go ahead and set your defense for you there for Columbia College. That is sponsored by Home Oil. Out in left field, Caden Nicoletto in left. In center field, that is David Dell. In right field, Brayton Diasonia. Third base, Tyler Wren. Shortstop, Devin Lopez. Your second baseman is Nick Falkenstein. First baseman, Brayton McGinnis. Their catcher is Joe Horsler. And there you see today's starting pitcher is Cam Nago. He is 1-1, 3.09 ERA, 3 walks, and 10 strikeouts on the season here. He is a left-hander from Cape Girardeau. Famous person that came from there was a guy named Rush Limbaugh, who at one time used to work for the Kansas City Royals. And the first time I remember that one was back in 1994 when he was in attendance the day when George Brett had his number 5 retired by the Kansas City Royals. Central Methodist in the green uniform with the white pants, white trim, white numerals. When you first see them, they look like these uniforms are the Oakland A's. I'm hoping one day we may hopefully may see this sometime down the road when you have Central Methodist wear those, like the green uniform with the birds on the backs. Here's Bobby Nichols in the first game today. Went 0 for 3. No homers, 5 RBIs from Detroit. Home of the Detroit Red Wings, who yesterday defeated the St. Louis Blues 6-1. They'll be taking on Columbus on March the 1st, 2025 in the Stadium Series down in Columbus, Ohio. First pitch. That's a ball, 1-0 to count. Hoping, according to the commissioner, Gary Bettman, thinking we may have 100,000 fans at Ohio Stadium. The 1-0. That's ball 2 there. 2-0 to count there. 2 balls and no strikes on Bobby Nichols. 2-0 pitch. That's a curveball strike. 2-1 there. 2-1 to count on Bobby Nichols. 2-1 pitch. Fouls it off. 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Valentin Cerna Jr. is on deck. Two pitch. Swings and misses, strike 3, so 1 out now for Valentin Cerna Jr. In the first game today, Valentin Cerna Jr. went 2 for 3 with 2 singles. 1 homer, 8 RBIs on the season. Great crowd on him. A lot of them from Columbia, a lot from Central Methodist. Lefty-lefty matchup, first pitch. That is a ball. And now it looks like you see the shortstop is playing maybe on the right side of second. Second base moves over, and they're crowding the right side of the infield. Now in Major League Baseball, that would be illegal. And then you see a student on a wheel. No, this is not like not the Scooby-Doo cartoon where Shaggy went down the highway in roller skates. And, of course, ended up falling in the bathtub. 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 pitch. On the outside corner, 3-1. Three balls and a strike. 3-1 pitch. That's ball 4 now, and a 1-out walk for Tanner Sears. Sears in the first game went 1 for 4 with a homer and 2 RBIs. Has 4 homers, 18 RBIs. And looks like that's one of my old friends from Central Methodist. That's Sarah Busman. Brings in the dog there. Want someone in the dugout there. So at first is Valentin Cerna Jr. They're playing Sears toward left, playing him to pull. Lines a shot. It is a fair ball down the left field line. Cerna Jr. is headed for third. Sears is headed for second with a 1-out double. And here's Carlos Negron up the bat. 9 homers, 22 RBIs. In the first game today, he went 1 for 3 with a home run and an RBI. That came in the 5th inning. Part of that 3-run 5th inning. So Trey Forwald from Manteno, Illinois, and now an intentional walk. So the bases are loaded full of Eagles for Jeremy Conforte. From Villa Park, Illinois, around the Chicago area. 200 hitter, homer, 3 RBIs. 1 homer, 3 RBIs. So an intentional walk. I thought maybe Darren Munns would do like what Dick Williams used to do back in 1972 to Johnny Bench, would fake the intentional walk, then Raleigh fingers through a pitch and end up striking out Johnny Bench. 1-0 to count. The 1-0 pitch. Swings and misses. Strike 1. 1-1 now. Diego Dioren on deck. And there you see that's Tanner's mom, Shelly, taking the pictures there. One ball, 1 strike. Bases loaded full of Eagles. The 1-1. Fouls it off. It's 1-2. To the 1-2 to count on Jeremy Conforte. The 1-2. That's up high. 2-2. Throw over there. Boy, that was a quick throw there. Boy, I tell you what, he has that quick throw. I tell you, to this day, reminds me of Johnny Bench. Because Johnny Bench was the master of throwing out runners. The infield is in at the corners. Infield at short and second and normal depth, anticipating a double play ball. 2-2 pitch. Now 3-2 on Jeremy Conforte. Three and 2 the count. Everybody will be moving on the pitch there. Three-two pitch. Hits a little chopper. Knocks it down. Coming in to score is Cerna Jr. And I have a feeling that's going to be an error, ladies and gentlemen. If not, I bet you Tim will say, ding dong, you're wrong. Diego Duren. No homers, 5 RBIs. First game today. 0 for 2, yep. That's what I thought. So bases still loaded full of Eagles for Conforti. That's 4 RBIs on the year. First pitch to him. And he hits a ground ball. They'll go second for one. The first, that's your 4-6-3 double play. But Central Methodist gets 1 run on just 1 hit, 1 error, and they leave 3. We head to the top of the second inning. Central Methodist 1, Columbia nothing.
No matter where you are in your educational journey, Central Methodist University is here for you. With CMU, you can learn on our beautiful campus in Fayette, Missouri, earn a degree completely online, or attend classes at one of our many statewide sites. Whichever path you choose, you will get a quality education that will prepare you for the future you envision. Select one of our programs of distinction in music, biology, or nursing, or choose from more than 60 degree options offered at the undergraduate and graduate levels. And if you decide to join us on campus, you will be able to take advantage of all the university has to offer, including dozens of clubs and organizations, a robust student life, and top-notch NAIA athletics. Discover what makes us different and how a degree from CMU can prepare you for the future. Discover Central Methodist University today.
That's Darren Muntz heads to the third base coach's box. That's Craig. That's Craig McAndrews heads to the first base coach's box. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for Central Methodist, no runs, no hits, and an error for Columbia College. Here is Braden McGinnis, 1 homer, 6 RBIs. Had a big 3-run homer in the 5th inning last night against Oklahoma City. And that's 6th inning for that 3-2 lead. But then Oklahoma City scored 3 in the 6th. And then Columbia had 1 in the 7th. Fouls it off, strike 1 from Concordia, Missouri. Nice little area. Of course, that's where my good friend Greg Schmidt, longtime radio announcer at KMMO, 1-1 the count. He's been doing games for almost 50 years on the radio side, mostly doing high school games. Done some in Fayette, done some in Slater, Concordia, Higginsville. I'm sure he's done some games involving Tanner Sears. Probably done some involving Braden McGinnis. 1-2 pitch. That's outside. 2-2 there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball hit well to right field. DeGron looking back, and it's tied at 1. A home run by Braden McGinnis. That's his 2nd of the year. And RBI number 7 has tied the game at 1. Here's Nick Falkenstein. No homers, 2 RBIs from Iowa City, Iowa. Home of the University of Iowa. First pitch. That's a ball high. 1-0 to count. One ball, no strike. Tie game at 1. 2-0 to count. 2-0 to count. 2-0 pitch. There's a strike call. 2-1. 2-1 to count on Nick Falkenstein. It's one of those things you try to say it 20 times fast, and sometimes it may not work. There's a high pop foul there. That's going to go out of play right behind the Columbia College dugout. 2-2. Great crowd on this Sunday afternoon. Boy, it's just a beautiful day. Or you can ask any other weather like that in late February. Just about 20 days away from spring. And a fly ball. Here's Bobby Nichols on the run. Makes the catch. Boy, he can outrun the fly balls like Chet Lemon used to do that a lot when he was with the Detroit Tigers. Here's Danny Ortega. 1 homer, 4 RBIs, a 300 hitter from San Bernardino, California. Strike call, 0-1 now. 1-1 tie, thanks to a home run by Braden McGinnis. The 0-1 pitch. That's foul to the screen, 0-2. Devin Lopez is on deck. 0-2 pitch. Fouls it off. 0-2 the count. Oh and 2 now. 0-2 pitch. Hits the ground ball. Valentin Stern couldn't get to it. That's a base hit. And now here's Devin Lopez. No homers, 7 RBIs on the year. From San Bernardino, California. First pitch to him. There's a strike call. 0-1 the count. 0-1 now on Devin Lopez. 0-1 now. Fouls it off. I think it hit a Columbia College coach there. I wonder if he's okay. Oh and 2 the count. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. So 2 outs now. And here's Joe Horschler. Got his first hit yesterday. Went 0 for 3. Still looking for his first hit of 2024. Swing and a miss. There's a throw. Back goes Ortega. Yeah, single to center. So 2 hits now for Columbia. The 0-1. There's a good pitch, strike 2 there. 0-2 the count on Joe Horschler. David Dell is on deck. 0-2 pitch. A little fly ball. LeGrand has some room. He can't get to it. So a 2-out hit there. So now it's first and second now for David Dell. One homer, 5 RBIs from Jefferson City, Missouri. It looks like a courtesy runner. That is Miles Jasper from Kansas City, Kansas. That's where the Sporting KC plays their home matches at. They play their home games in Kansas City, Kansas. So 3 hits for Columbia. And the pitch. That is a strike call. 0-1 the count. Braden D'Asonia is on deck. On 1 to count. The 0-1. Oh, nice stop there by Tanner Sears. 1-1 now. 1-1 to count. 2-1 now on David Dell. Brayton Diasonia is on deck. Two and one to count on David Dale. They throw over there. I think they got him. No. Just that close. Two and one to count there. 2-1 pitch. And that's a foul ball. 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes on David Dell. 2s across the board then. 2-2 pitch. Little fish job. Soriano will take care of that. So 1 run on 3 hits. No errors. 2 left. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Columbia 1, Central Methodist 1.
No matter where you are in your educational journey, Central Methodist University is here for you. With CMU, you can learn on our beautiful campus in Fayette, Missouri, earn a degree completely online, or attend classes at one of our many statewide sites. Whichever path you choose, you will get a quality education that will prepare you for the future you envision. Select one of our programs of distinction in music, biology, or nursing, or choose from more than 60 degree options offered at the undergraduate and graduate levels. And if you decide to join us on campus, you will be able to take advantage of all the university has to offer, including dozens of clubs and organizations, a robust student life, and top-notch NAIA athletics. Discover what makes us different and how a degree from CMU can prepare you for the future. Discover Central Methodist University today.
One run, 3 hits, and an error for Columbia. No, 1 run, no hit. 1 run, 1 hit, no error. Even though the scoreboard says 1, but Columbia should have 3.
3 hits for Columbia, Q?
Yep. As Zeb Webby hits on the first pitch, and there's a base hit there. Weddy went 1 for 3 with a single in that last game there. And Zeb Weddy has a homer and 8 RBIs, and he leads off with a single. There's Joseph Weatherford. 0 for 3 on the day. 0 for no homers, 3 RBIs. Had a great visit with Joseph Weatherford in between games of the doubleheader. His dad's name is Steve. Had a great visit with him. Of course, he lives in Batesville, Arkansas. That's what he told me. Even though the program says Flower Mound, Texas, but he lives in Batesville. One to know the count. Here's the 1-0. A little check swing. They'll go to second for 1. The first, that is a 1-6-3 double play. Second time Columbia has turned the double play. Here's David Soriano. 1 homer, 3 RBIs. And just to let you know, he is not related to Alfonso Soriano. I remember asking him that last Sunday. Of course, you remember he used to play for the Yankees. Famous for hitting a home run off Roger Clemens in the 2004 All-Star game. And a foul ball, strike 1 there. He also played for the Chicago Cubs and the Texas Rangers. The 0-1 now. There's a strike. 0-2 on David Soriano. On to the count. 0-2 pitch. Swings and misses. So no runs on one hit, no errors. And they leave no one. We head to the top of the third inning, and the game is tied at 1.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
One run, 3 hits, and an error for Columbia. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. As Brayton D'Asonia up there, grounded out to Valentin Cerna Jr. Foster Seitz on the mound. That is a ball. Of course, like I said, I met his mom, Julie, his dad, Greg, and his aunt from Columbia, South Carolina. The 1-0. Oh, that bounces, and it's a ball. 2-0 to count. Two balls and no strikes on Brayton D'Asonia. 2-0 pitch. Hits the ground ball to Valentin Cerna Jr. Throws to Weatherford. That'll be an error, no question about it. And Tim Crowley will agree with me there. That is an error. The throw was wide. Good effort there by Weatherford with the tag. Here's Caden Nicoletto. Flew out to Zeb Weddy. He threw out to Zeb Weddy his first time up there today. First pitch to him. It's a high fly ball to right field. LeGrand and Nichols call for it. I think that's Bobby Nichols will call for it, and there's out number 1 there. Here's Tower Wren. He struck out his first time up. Tower Wren struck out. Not too much. First pitch. That's a bit high. 1-0 to count. Let's see. 1-0 to count the 1-0. Fouls it to the screen. 1-1. 1-1 to count. If you look to the bottom of the third, you got the top of the order coming up. They throw over there, and back goes D'Asonia. If you remember last night, I think D'Asonia was thrown out once. They throw over there again. They're keeping that runner close. They're keeping a sharp eye. Inside, 2-1 now. Went Norris here on my 2,200 Central Methodist game. 2-1 count. 2-1. 3-1. If he can go 3-1 to count. The Asonia's at first. He reached on an error. There goes the Asonia. Strike two, the throw. Yes, sir. Oh, baby. What a play by Tanner Sears. Second time he's done that today. So 3-2 to count. Boy, he has an arm that reminds you of Johnny Bench. And I'm sure Johnny Bench is smiling down from heaven. 3-2 pitch. Little cue shot. Nice stop by Weatherford. The throw. Not in time. That'll be an infield hit. That was a bang-bang play. The fourth hit of the game there. And now here's Braden McGinnis. He homered his first time up. That tied the match at 1 in the top of the second inning. Central Methodist scored a run. On the RBI by Jeremy Conforte. McGinnis, 2 homers, 7 RBIs. Renz at first. There's a strike call. 0-1 now. Oh and 1 to count. Now we'll try to figure out what's going on there. You see looks like these gold neon green shoes that I think Tanner Sears is sporting. Either that, if he's wearing the gold ones, he'll be looking like L.C. Greenwood, who wore those in Super Bowl 9. 0-1 now. 1-1 to count. 1-1 to count there. 1-1 pitch. There's a strike call. 1-2. 1-2 to count there. 1-2 pitch. High pop fly. Let's see who calls for it. A trio of Eagles, and that's Negron for the third out. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. We are through 2.5. A 1-1 tie.
No matter where you are in your educational journey, Central Methodist University is here for you. With CMU, you can learn on our beautiful campus in Fayette, Missouri, earn a degree completely online, or attend classes at one of our many statewide sites. Whichever path you choose, you will get a quality education that will prepare you for the future you envision. Select one of our programs of distinction in music, biology, or nursing, or choose from more than 60 degree options offered at the undergraduate and graduate levels. And if you decide to join us on campus, you will be able to take advantage of all the university has to offer, including dozens of clubs and organizations, a robust student life, and top-notch NAIA athletics. Discover what makes us different and how a degree from CMU can prepare you for the future. Discover Central Methodist University today.
Okay. One run, 4 hits, and error for Columbia. 1 run, 2 hits, and error for Central Methodist. And there's Bobby Nichols up there. He struck out his first time up there. Bobby Nichols. Of course, his dad, Mike. I'm sure Mike is listening. I'm looking forward to meeting Mike. Probably be there for Senior Day in late April. They're playing him the pool. He hits it the other way to right field. That's well hit to right field at the track, at the fence, at the wall. It's gone. And Bobby Nichols has given Central Methodist a 2-1 lead. And for Bobby Nichols, That's his third of the year, RBI number 7. And a 2-1 lead for Central Methodist. Here's Valentin Cerna Jr. He drew a walk his first time. First pitch. That is a ball, 1-0 to count on Valentin Cerna Jr. The 1-0 on the outside corner, a strike, 1-1. 1-1 pitch. High fly ball to right field. That's around Pesky's pole. It is a foul ball. That was around Pesky's pole. Named after the former second baseman of the Boston Red Sox, Johnny Pesky. He used to hit a lot of foul balls in that right field corner at Fenway Park. One and two the count. It's the ground ball. That is a play by the second base. Throw not in time. So 4 hits now for Central Methodist, 2 consecutive hits. Tanner Sears doubled and doubled his first time up. First, his mom and dad had a great visit with his mom and dad, Shelly and Kurt. First pitch. That's a ball, 1-0 to count. Carlos DeGron. DeGron is on deck.
No, he had another one.
The 1-0. Fouls it to the screen at 1-1. 1-1 the count on Tanner Sears. LeGrand on deck. They throw over there to test Valentin Cerna Jr. 4 hits already for Central Methodist. The 1-1. That's a strike call, 1-2. One and two the count on Tanner Sears. 1-2 pitch. Hits a high fly ball in the center field. That is a base hit there. 3 straight hits now for Central Methodist, and it's first and second now for Carlos Negron. He drew a walk his first time out, and a courtesy runner. That's Trey Vorwald. Okay. Vorwald is the courtesy runner, or he's probably known as the Herb Washington of Central Methodist. He's like the Herb Washington who used to play for the A's, he was a designated pinch runner. And the only time he ever appeared in the World Series, he was picked off first base by a gentleman named Don Sutton in Game 2 of the 1974 World Series. 5 hits now. That's a ball, 1-1 to count. One ball and 1 strike. First and second, nobody out. And a high fly ball to right field. That's well hit. That's around Pesky's pole. Foul ball. That was headed toward Pesky's pole. Or as my mom used to say, straighten it out, buddy. I thought maybe Carlos Negron would try to do what Carlton Fisk would do, wave it fair. I remember he did that in Game 6 of the 75 World Series. That came on my best friend's birthday, October 21st. First and second, nobody out. The 1-2. Fouls that one off. 1-2, heading toward the Columbia College bullpen. Yep. One and two to count on Carlos Negron. At second base is Valentin Cerna Jr. At first base, Tanner Sears. The 1-2. It's a high pop fly there. Let's see who calls for it. And it's a base hit there on a Joe Morgan Dying Quail single. So now it's bases loaded full of Eagles. And nobody out for Jeremy Conforte. Reached on here, drove in a run. That was with the bases loaded in the first inning. Jeremy Conforti. Bases loaded, nobody out. And a base hit there. That's going to score Cerna Jr. And everyone moves a base. And it's 3-1 on RBI by Jeremy Conforti, his second of the day. Conforti has 5 on the year. And here's Diego Dioren. Into a 4.63 double play, his first time up. And now Coach Munns probably wants a conference action there. We'll take it with you there. Central Methodist 3 and Columbia 1.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
Like Caleb Richards, I do believe. So Caleb Richards is the new pitcher, 0-0, 5.56 ERA, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. He is from a town called Ellington, Missouri, around the south central part of Missouri, around between Rolla and maybe around Bell area, I do believe. So bases loaded, full of Eagles. At third base is Trey Verwald. Carlos Agron's at second. Jeremy Conforti's at first. And a 3-1 lead there. Trying to break the game open. Dio Wren up there. He hit into a double play his first time up. First pitch. Oh, that kind of gets away, but not far enough. Ball 1. The 6th man to bat this inning. Infield is in at the corners. 2-0 to count. Central Methodist baseball. Next action this coming Saturday. Begin conference play against Graceland. First game of the doubleheader on Saturday at 1 o'clock. A little cue shot up the middle. There's a base hit. A run will score. Here comes Negron. Fuller's cut off, and it's now looks like 6-1. 2 RBIs there. Here's Zeb Weedy. 5-1 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 8 hits now for Central Methodist. Weedy singled his first time up. First pitch. Fouls it off. Strike 1. Still nobody out for De La Wren. 7 RBIs on the year. 0-1 the count. First and second. Still nobody out. The 0-1. Swings and misses. 0-2. Oh, and 2 to count on Zeb Weedy. The 0-2 hits the ground ball, gets by the third baseman. They're going to hold the runners. 7 consecutive hits. And the bases are loaded full of Eagles again for Joseph Weatherford. Hitting to double play his first time up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Having 9 hits, even though the scoreboard says 8, that should be 9 there as well, because I have it in my book. Bases loaded full of Eagles. And that is a ball. Into a 1-6-3 double play, his first time up. Now Coach Munns wants to talk it over. A 5-1 lead. 4 big runs in that third inning that break the game open. Man, it's 1-1. He was about ready to golf it. Golf it toward Batesville, Arkansas. That's where his family lives. Of course, like I said, a great visit with his dad, Steve. The 1-1. A swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 the count with David Soriano on deck. I think that's 1-2 pitch. Fly ball. Let's see who calls for it. The left fielder makes the catch, but not far enough to move the runner. So 1 out now. Here's David Soriano. He struck out his first time up. From Dominican Republic, of course, the most famous athlete that came from there was a guy named Juan Marichal, a big, tall, left-handed pitcher for the San Francisco Giants in the 60s and also the early 70s. Foul ball, strike 1. And, of course, ended his career with the Los Angeles Dodgers in the mid-70s. And that was right after he hit Johnny Roseboro in the head with a baseball bat. And a high pop up there, that's going to go out of play. 0-2 the count on David Soriano. Bobby Nichols on that. He started the third inning off with a home run to right field. That gave Central Methodist a 2-1 lead. 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 call, so 2 outs now. And here is Bobby Nichols. He is 1 for 2 with a homer and an RBI. That home run came in the third inning and gave Central Methodist a 2-1 lead. Bobby Nichols up the bat. First pitch to him. Oh, nice stop by the catcher. 1-0 the count. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. Lines a shot. There's a base hit. 1 run will score, and that's all. 6-1 now. Nichols has 8 RBIs on the year. Here's Valentin Cerno. He singled 1 for 1 with a single. He also drew a walk in the first inning. And a 6-1 lead. Bases still loaded, full of Eagles. Strike call, 0-1 now. Oh and 1 to count. Swing and a miss. He was about ready to golf it towards Chicago. But instead, it's 0-2. Tanner Sears is on deck. Oh, 2 pitch. Ground ball. There's a base hit. A run will score. Here comes the second run. And look at that. It's 8-1 on a 2 RBI hit there by Valentin Cerna. Duran and Weddy will score. Seven RBI. Actually, 10 RBIs for Valentin Cerna. Here's Tanner Sears. 2 for 2 with a single and a double. And looks like we may have a pitching change. It's called the bullpen. It's sponsored by McDonald's. So a new pitcher on the mound. That's Kobe Linder. Third pitcher already been used. Zero, ERA 0, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Now they want Coach Munch to check on the glove, making sure that's legal. Make sure they want a legal glove. And it looks like that was an illegal glove, so he had to take it out. And his Foster side's just warming up there, trying to get some activity in there. Eight to 1, 7 big runs on 9 hits. And Sears will be the 12th man to bat.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
For 2 with a single double. First and third. 2 outs. First pitch. That's a ball. 1-0 to count. You wonder if Bobby Nichols is going to try to do like what Tim McCarver did back in 1964. That's still home. That's ball 2, 2-0 to count. And the starting pitcher that day for the Yankees was Whitey Ford. Two balls and no strikes. They're playing him to left. There's a strike call on 2-1 to count. Two balls and a strike. First and third. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Carlos Negron is on deck. 2-2. Two's across the board. There goes Valentin Cerna. Oh my, I tell you, the only person I could tell you that was a master of that was a gentleman named Maury Wills. That was when Maury Wills used to be with the Dodgers. He was the master of testing the pitcher, and he was the master of stealing the bases. 2-2 pitch is a foul ball there. So Nichols stays at third. Valentin Cerna on a steal when nobody was watching. 2-2 pitch. 3-2 now. Carlos Negron is on deck. 3-2 the count. Three-two pitch. Lines it, base hit. Nichols scores. They're going to hold the runners. And Sears has an RBI there. Two singles, a double. And Tanner Sears has 19 RBIs on the year. And Trey Vorwald is the penalty runner. And it's 9-1. 8 big runs. 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. As Carlos Negron, 1 for 1, walked in the first, singled in the third. 10 big hits in the third inning. First pitch. That is a ball, 1-0 to count. He is the 13th man to bat this inning. Foster Sides trying to get some warm-up tosses in there. The 1-0. 2-0 to count. Jeremy Conforte is on deck. The backup catcher warming up with us. Cooper Keel from Bowling Green. Got to admit he's grandma and grandpa. And the bases are loaded as Negron is hit by a pitch. Here is Jeremy Conforte, 1 for 2 with a single, 2 RBIs there. Bases loaded full of Eagles. First pitch. That hit him again. 3 RBIs already. So 3 RBIs for Jeremy Conforte. And it's now 10-1 Central Methodist. Conforte has 6 RBIs now on the year. Diego Duran, 1 for 2 with a single and 2 RBIs. Another pitching change is called. We'll take it with you. Central Methodist 10, Columbia 1.
No matter where you are in your educational journey, Central Methodist University is here for you. With CMU, you can learn on our beautiful campus in Fayette, Missouri, earn a degree completely online, or attend classes at one of our many statewide sites. Whichever path you choose, you will get a quality education that will prepare you for the future you envision. Select one of our programs of distinction in music, biology, or nursing, or choose from more than 60 degree options offered at the undergraduate and graduate levels. And if you decide to join us on campus, you will be able to take advantage of all the university has to offer, including dozens of clubs and organizations, a robust student life.
The new pitcher on the mound there. 0-0 ERA at 9 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. $10-1 on 9 runs in a span of 10 hits. As Diego Duran up there sporting those pink gloves there. And I will tell you this, I'm sure Diego Duran probably would give me one of those for my birthday in about 2 weeks. Either that, he might save one for next year when I turn 50. $10-1 in favor of Central Methodist on my 22nd 100th Central Methodist game. As Diego Duran up there 1 for 2 with a single and 2 RBIs. First pitch. Oh, that gets away to the backstop. And coming in to score is Vorwald to make it 11-1. That's a wild pitch there, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone moves a base. $11-1 in favor of Central Methodist. A little past 4 o'clock. Fouls it off. 1-1 now. Conforti's at second. Negron's at third. 1-1 to count on Diego Duran. 7 RBIs on the year. The 1-1. It's a fly ball to right field. That is around Pesky's pole, and it will go foul. 1-2. Foster Size warming up there, trying to get some timing in there. Bottom of the third inning. A 10-1 game. It's 11-1 with 10 big runs on 10 hits. 1-2 pitch. Fly ball in the center field. Center field has it for the third out. So 10 runs on 10 hits. No errors. 2 left. And 15 men went to the plate. We're at the end of 3. Central Methodist 11, Columbia 1. $10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 men. But it was fun. Fun as a broadcaster. 11 runs, 12 hits, and an error for Central Methodist. 1 run, 4 hits, and an error for Columbia College. Nick Felkenstein flew out to Bobby Nichols his first time up. Quentin Norris from the catbird seat. There's a strike call, 0-1 now. Central Methodist trying to go for win number 11. Heading to the conference play on Saturday. 1-1 in the count. Foster Sight has a 11-1 lead to work with. The 1-1. Oh, there's a beautiful pitch. 1-2 there. One-two pitch. 2-2 to count. Well, one ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. There is activity in the Central Methodist bullpen. 2-2 pitch. It's a ground ball to Soriano. Throws over to Joseph Weatherford for out number 1. So 1 out now for Danny Ortega, who singled his first time up. Ortega up there. Did he go? I believe he did. No, sir. Ball 1. Ball by Devin Lopez. There's the 1-0. There's a strike call. 1-1 now on Danny Ortega. 11-1 Central Methodist. The 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Two balls and a strike. There's a high fly ball in the right field. Negron giving chase, and that's a foul ball. 2-2 to count. Two and two the count on Danny Ortega. Out for the 4th inning. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. So 2 quick outs now for Devin Lopez. He struck out his first time. First 2-2 pitch. 3-2. So 3-2 the count. Three and two to count on Danny Ortega. Three-two pitch. Ground ball up the middle. There's a base hit there. Fifth hit of the game for Columbia College. There's Devin Lopez. He struck out his first time up. Runner at first with 1 out. Here's the pitch. That's a ball, 1-0 to count on Devin Lopez. Struck out in the second. The 1-0. Oh, nice stop there by Tanner Sears. 2-0. I tell you what. I'll tell you this. He reminds you of Roy Campanella. 2-0 pitch. There's a strike call. 2-1 there. 2 balls and a strike. Top of the 4th inning. 11-1 Central Methodist. Two-one pitch. 3-1 now. 3-1 now on Danny Ortega. Devin Lopez, I'm sorry. 3-1. Here's your pitch. Takes it 3-2 now. Joe Horschler is on deck. 3-2 the count. 3-2 pitch. Cues it foul off the screen. 3-2 the count there on Danny or on Devin Lopez. 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off the screen.
Rachel, did you get bored?
3-2 the count. Three-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three call. So 2 outs now. Joe Horschler up there. He singled his first time up. Got his first hit of 2024. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. David Dell on deck. 0-1 now. A swing and a miss. Yes, he did go around. No question about it. I was fooled. I thought he thought he went around there because a lot of times if the bat crosses home plate, that's a strike on a check swing. There's a strike. 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Joe Horschler. Ortega's at first with the single. 1-2. Strike 3 call. So no runs on 1 hit. No errors. 1 left. We're halfway home. Central Methodist 11. Columbia 1 on the Heart Conference Network.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
One run, 5 hits and an error for Columbia. 11 runs, 12 hits and an error for Central Methodist as Zeb Weedy up there. 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Central Methodist sent 15 men to the plate last inning. First pitch to him. It's a high foul ball. 0-1 the count. 0-1 on Zeb Weedy from Harrisburg. 0-1 now. That's a bit high. 1-1 now. One is a foul ball. 1-2. 2-2. 2-2 the count. 2-2 pitch. Foul ball off his foot. Two and two the count. 2-2 pitch. 3-2 now on Zeb Weedy. Of course, Saturday is the conference opener, taking on Graceland. Pre-game show 12:45. First game at 1. Second game at 3:30. Games 3 and 4 on Sunday. Pre-game show 12:45. Next Sunday's first pitch at 1. Second game at 3:30. Hits it off the pitcher there. Shortstop barehands it. The throw. They got him. Wow. 1-6-3. One out now. Well, that was hit like a rocket off the pitcher. And a good play by the shortstop. That's Devin Lopez to throw over to Braden McGinnis for out number 1. Here's Joseph Weatherford, 0 for 2.
I was confirming I did it correctly.
First pitch. There's a strike call on Joseph Weatherford. Of course, we had a great visit with his dad. Looking forward to meeting his mom and dad. That's Steve and Gayla. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2 the count on Joseph Weatherford. 0-2 pitch. That's a ball. 1-2 there. Of course, Central Methodist men will play Peru State in the quarterfinals of the Heart America Conference Tournament Tuesday night at 7. Women will be on the road at Clark for their conference tournament at 7 p.m. Wednesday night. 2-2 the count there on Joseph Weatherford. Of course, softball, they'll be in Gulf Shores this upcoming weekend. 3-2 the count. We know they'll play Tennessee Southern at 9 a.m. Second game, we're not sure who they'll play in game 2 on that Friday. And then Saturdays is to be determined. They'll play Texas A&M Texarkana. Fly ball hit well in the left center field. That is well hit and gone. A home run by Joseph Weatherford. And I know his dad, Steve, and mom, Gayla, are happy. That's his first of the year. RBI number 4 for Joseph Weatherford. And a 12-1 lead for Central Methodist. There's David Soriano, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch to him. And that is a strike call. 0-1 the count on David Soriano. On deck is Bobby Nichols. 0-1 now. Fouls it off. 0-2 now on David Soriano.
Wait a minute, what's the score?
12-1.
So, okay.
12-1 is our score. 13 hits. 0-2 to count. High fly ball. That's well hit. And that'll go out of play. And the count is 0-2 on David Soriano. He is from Dominican Republic. Oh and 2 now on David Soriano. 0-2 pitch. That's a ball, 1-2. The next home game for softball is not until March the 7th. They take on the University of St. Mary at 2 for a doubleheader at the Cox Softball Complex. Then March 8th, they'll take on Williams Baptist at 2 p.m. 1-2 pitch. 2-2 to count. 2 balls, 2 strikes on David Soriano from the Dominican Republic. 2-2 pitch. 3-2 now. Three and two on David Soriano. Playing him to left. And it's a ball 4 to David Soriano. So a walk. Here's Bobby Nichols. What a day for him. 2 for 3, a homer, single, and 2 RBIs. And Coach Munns wants to go out there and talk it over. We'll take it with you there. 12-1 Central Methodist. So new pitcher on the mound, Braden Boyer on the mound. 0-0 ERA at 9. No walks and a strikeout from Columbia. Went to Battle High School. His dad is Doug Boyer. For many of us who may remember Doug Boyer, he played baseball at Central Methodist from 1991 to 1995. And I remember, of course, his mom is Tina, of course. And, of course, I got to meet Tina and along with another friend from Central Methodist named Sarah Bussman last night as well. The first time I remember meeting Doug Boyer was from a gentleman named Clyde Wood. He introduced me to him on the I think at the cafeteria, along with several other friends as well. So Boyer went to Battle High School. Of course, Doug is now an assistant baseball coach at Southern Boone High School. Won a state championship in 2022. Of course, their current coach, his name is Brian Ash, who played baseball at Central Methodist. His dad, Ken, used to be the men's basketball coach in the 1980s. A great friend of mine. He was the coach of that 81 team. They won their first conference championship. So Soriano's at first with the walk and the pitch to him. And that's a ball, 1-0 to count. One and 0 to count on Bobby Nichols. Twelve to 1's our score. A little bit inside, 2-0 to count on Bobby Nichols. Been to bat 5 times. That's his 4th plate appearance. 12 to 1 now. The 2-0 pitch. That is 3-0 to count on Bobby Nichols. Soriano's at first. At that time in that third inning, Central Methodist sent 15 men to the plate. 3-0 pitch. There's a strike call. 3-1 there on Bobby Nichols. Three and one to count. 3-1 pitch. There's a count strike. 3-2. Valentin Cerna Jr. is on deck. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 now. So Nichols has been on base all 4 times. A homer, single. Actually, all 3 of the 4 times. Of course, he struck out in the first inning. Here's Valentin Cerna Jr. 2 for 2, 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and a walk. First pitch to him. That is a bit high, 1-0 to count. 12-1 Central Methodist. They added 10 big runs in the third inning. And they had to run the fourth on the home run by Joseph Weatherford. The 1-0. 2-0 to count there with Tanner Sears on deck. Two-0 pitch. 3-0 on Valentin Cerna Jr. You wonder if Nick Breland can give him the green light, just like Tommy Lasorda used to do for the Dodgers. The 3-0 pitch. And that's ball 4 now. So a 1-out walk. And the bases are loaded full of Eagles for Tanner Sears. 3 for 3, 2 singles, a double, an RBI. 19 RBIs on the year, 4 home runs. First pitch, swings and misses, strike 1. 12-1 in favor of of Central Methodist. Bottom of the 4th inning. Bases loaded. The 0-1. Nice stop by the catcher. 1-1 there with Carlos Negron on deck. 1-1 to count. 1-1 pitch. That's inside. 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike. Fouls it off. 2-2 the count. 2-2 the count on Tanner Sears. Soriano's at third. Nichols at second. Cerna Jr.'s at first. 2-2 pitch. Misses inside there. 3-2. Three and 2 the count. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 now. And coming in to score is Soriano. And a second RBI today for Tanner Sears. Gives him 20 on the year. Here's Carlos Negron. 1 for 1. He was hit by a pitch and drew a walk. And now, time has been called for. 12. And now And now the sixth pitcher of the day for Columbia. We'll tell you all about it. Sponsored by Walmart.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
And the bases are still full of Eagles as Troy Vorwall is the courtesy runner. Valentine Cerna Jr. is at second, and at third is Bobby Nichols. So, 4 consecutive walks. Or, as Bob Euchre would call it, ball 16. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Strike one. So Carlos Negron, 1 for 1. Single. He drew a walk and was hit by a pitch. The 0-1. Fouls it off. 0-2. Jeremy Conforte is on deck. Still 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Inside, 1-2. A little past 4:30 on Sunday, February the 25th. 1-2 the count. 1-2 pitch. Cue shot. 1-2 the count. One out now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. That kind of gets away, and he was hit by a pitch. So another second time he's been hit by a pitch. This time gets an RBI. Nichols scores to make it 13-1. Jeremy Conforti up there, 1 for 2, single. He was hit by a pitch, 2 RBIs. For Negron, has 23 RBIs on the year. And the bases are still full of Eagles, still 1 out. 13-3, 13-1 is our score. First pitch, lines it just past the third baseman. That's a base hit. A run will score. That's Valentine Cerna to make it 14-1. Now it's 15-1 on a single. And everybody moves a base. 3 RBIs on the day for Jeremy Conforti. Here's Diego Durin. 1 for 3 with a single and 2 RBIs. 15-3 now. First pitch. High fly ball. That's heading toward Pesky's pole. And that's a foul ball. 1, 2, 4. Yep. 15-1 now. Fly ball. There's a base hit there. Verwall will score, and everyone moves a base there. It's now 16-1. Duran has 3 RBIs on the day. 8 RBIs on the year. 16-1 now. Zeb Weedy started the inning off grounding out to the pitcher, then to the shortstop, then throw the first. Base is still loaded for Eagles. First pitch. Strike call, 0-1 now. 1. 3. 5 runs on 3 hits this inning. The 0-1 now. That's a ball, 1-1 now. 1, 3. So it'll be 15 hits now for Central Methodist. Even though the scoreboard, yep, there we go. We got it correct. Fly ball in the center field. There's a base hit. Another run will score to make it 17-1. There's Joseph Weatherford up there. 1 for 3 with a homer and an RBI. And it looks like another. It looks like another pitching change. And I believe, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the 7th pitcher of the day for Columbia College. Well, look on the bright side there, Columbia College fans. You know, the next game up for Columbia College after this will be Friday and Saturday. They're home against Viterbo for a 4-game series there. Maybe they. There's Drew Voss, 0-0, ERA 0 with a walk on the year. He is from a town of Lynn, Missouri. That's just around the Jeff City area. I always remember their high school gymnasium. They always, a gymnasium that looks like a dome. Looks like the Louisiana Superdome. 6 big runs on 4 hits. And there's still 1 out. It's just a Weatherford up there with a home run. And the base is still loaded, and there's still 1 out. Here's Weatherford, 1 for 3 with a homer. (17-1). 6 big runs and a strike call to Joseph Weatherford. 0-1 to count in the bottom of the 4th inning. Still 1 out. 1 in the first. Columbia tied with a run in the second. That kind of gets away, but not far enough to move Jeremy Conforte. He's at third. Doren's at second. Weedy is at first. Weedy has 4 RBI, actually 9 RBIs on the year. 17-1. Then Columbia added 10 in the third, and now 6 more in the fourth. The 1-1. Hits a little pop up there. That will go out of play. 1-2 the count. On Joseph Weatherford. On deck is David Soriano. There is some activity in the Central Methodist bullpen trying to get some work in as they begin trying to get some work in before Saturday as they start conference play with Graceland. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 call, so 2 outs now. Here's David Soriano. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, also with a walk. Trying to think who is in the Central Methodist bullpen area. I would like to say maybe Justin Stedry. Of course, he pitched last Sunday against Hastings. That's a ball there with Bobby Nichols on deck. One ball, no strikes. Bottom of the 4th inning. 17-1. The 1-0 pitch. 2-0 to count on David Soriano. Bases loaded. Conforti's at third. Second base is Duran. First base, Weedy. Here's your 2-0 pitch. Foul ball. 2-1 now. A little past 4:40 p.m. on this Sunday, February the 25th. Justin Stedry from Saginaw, Michigan is warming up there. That's the hometown area where Jordan Schwellenbach is from. 2-1 pitch. Oh, that hit him. And he'll take first base. A run will score. And it's now 17-1. And here's Bobby Nichols. 2 for 3 on the day. Boy, this has been an exciting game. On just 4 hits. First pitch to Bobby Nichols. A swing and a miss. Strike 1. Oh and 1 now on Bobby Nichols. Bottom of the 4th inning. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. $18-1 is our score. 0-2 on Bobby Nichols with Valentin Cernas on deck. 0-2 pitch. Nice stop by the catcher. 1-2. 1-2 the count on Bobby Nichols. 2 for 3 with a homer and 2 RBIs on the day. One-two pitch. Oh, that gets away, but not far enough to move Diego Duran. Two and two, the count there. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Bobby Nichols. 2-2. 2-2 pitch. 3-2 the count. Three-two pitch. That's ball 4 now. Another walk makes it 18-1. Now 19-1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here's There's Valentin Cerna Jr. at the bat. 2 for 2 with 2 singles and 2 RBIs. Bases loaded full of Eagles. 19-1 now. And that's a ball. 2-0 to count. Eight big runs on just 4 hits. 2-0 to count. Fouls it off. 2-1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2-1 to count to Valentin Cerna Jr. Bases loaded, still full of Eagles. 3-1 now. Heading toward the 4:45 hour. Boy, has this been a fun one there today. Of course, Central Methodist lost the first one 6-4, but they scored 1 in the first. Columbia tied 1 in the second, and 10 in the third, and 4 more in the 8 runs in the fourth. 3-1 pitch. Another walk. How about that? Zeb Weddy scores. Soriano hits for third. Nichols is second. And it's now 19-1 now. Looks like Dominic Van Dorn is the batter. Van Dorn from Grosse Pointe, Michigan, around the Detroit area. First pitch. And there's a strike call. Had a great visit with Dominic Van Dorn in between the games of the doubleheader. 0-1 to count. Here's the 0-1. Foul ball, 0-2. Looks like, I think that's Carlos Negron on deck. I think that's him, but we'll just see. 0-2. 20-1 now. That's a fly ball to the left. And that is the third out. But Central Methodist, they've added 9 big runs there on just 4 hits. No errors, 3 left. We're through 4. Central Methodist 20. Columbia 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9. Wow. So also some changes. Of course, Justin Stedray is the new pitcher on the mound. Hey, I'm from Saginaw, Michigan. 0-0, ERA 0, no walks and 2 strikeouts. Of course, made an appearance last Sunday against Hastings. New catcher is Dominic Van Dorn. He came on to pinch hit for Tanner Sears. Well, it's fun as a broadcaster. If I'm... ...20 runs, 16 hits and an error for Central Methodist. 1 run, 5 hits and an error for Columbia. And it looks like that's Miles Jasper is the hitter coming to bat. Dominic Van Doren is the catcher. Jasper from Kansas City, Kansas. And that's a strike call. That's top of the fifth inning. 20-1 now. Steedray's on the mound. That's a ball. 1-1 now. Looks like number 34 for Central Methodist. That's Landon Whittingham. There's a good pitch. There's strike two. Trying to get some work in there. Trying to get some more players in there. Get some time there. 1-2 the count. Getting ready for the conference action on Saturday. Fouls it off. 1-2. Also in the bullpen, that looks like number 15. That is Alex Billow. Of course, I remember Alex Billow from February 5th when he holds my iPad while getting my picture taken with Ozzie Smith. 1-2 pitch. Oh, just missed. 2-2. 2-2 the count. 2-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Two and two the count there. Two and two the count. 2-2 pitch. Oh, nice job there. Strike three call. So one out now. It looks like number one there. That's Tyler Davis. So Tyler Davis. Tyler Davis is from Vista, California. I believe around the San Diego area. That's my guess. A ground ball. Deeren throws over to Weatherford for out number two. So two quick outs now. And here's Caden Nicoletto, 0 for 2 with two flyouts. To Weddy in the first, and then to Bobby Nichols in the third. It looks like that's Sutton Hanks from Ozark, Missouri. Ball one there. That's ball two. It looks like on deck Bailey Quint. 2-0 to count. 2-0 pitch. Swings and misses. 2-1 to count. Two-one pitch. Outside. 3-1 now. With two outs there in the fifth inning. 3-1 pitch. So two out walk there. And looks like Bailey Quint is the hitter there from Pilot Grove, Missouri. Just a little past east of Boonville. If you go down I-70 and make a left turn on 135. And there's a strike call. And also that's where my good friend Dylan Young is now the boys basketball coach. And I think his team won a district championship last night. On Friday night. 1-1 to count there. With two outs in the fifth inning. 20-1. Central Methodist lost the first one. 6-4 to Oklahoma City. But they really come on strong. 2-1 to count. That's Dylan Carlton on deck. 2-1 pitch. Oh, that hit him. Oh, my. So first and second, still two outs for Dylan Carlton. He wears 27. 083 hitter, no homers, no RBIs. He's from Imperial, Missouri, which is in the St. Louis area. There's a strike call. 0-1 the count. Hanks is at second. He drew a walk. Quentin was hit by a pitch. 0-1 now. High fly ball. That may go out of play. Negron, that's heading toward the Columbia College bullpen area. Two strikes to count. And out on deck is Duffin Makins. Two strikes to count. 2 outs. 0-2 pitch. Nice stop there by Dominic Van Dorn. 1-2 to count. 4 good innings from Foster Seitz. 1-2 pitch. Of course, had a great visit with his mom, Jill, and his dad, Greg. Two and two the count. 2-2 pitch. Hits a ground ball to Soriano. Throws over to Weatherford for the third out. So no runs on no hits, no errors, 2 left. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Central Methodist 20, Columbia 1. Okay. And looks like number 41's pitching there. That's okay. We'll hang in there. But things are going to get better. Cam Hill is from the Colony, Texas. Where's the number 41? Like another famous 41. The great Tom Seaver, who was one of my heroes growing up there. Of course, he was the 1967 National League Rookie of the Year. In 1969, led the New York Mets to a World Championship. Won his 300th game with the White Sox on August the 4th against the New York Yankees. And he went into the Baseball Hall of Fame back in 1992 with I believe, a highest percentage vote of 98%. So it looks like a new player coming there. Nick Tampa checks in there. So Nick Tampa batting for the first time. 20 runs, 16 hits, and an error for Central Methodist. 1 run, 5 hits, and an error. And there's a strike call. 0-1 on Nick Tampa. Trying to get some players in there. Get ready for Saturday. 0-1 now. That is a ball. 1-1 there. That's Tampa is from the Chicago area. Algonquin, Illinois. 1-1 the count. The 1-1. 2-1 the count. Looks like Alexander Billow is warming up in the Central Methodist bullpen. 2-1 pitch. Three and 1 the count there on Nick Tampa. 3-1. That's ball 4. So leadoff walk for Tampa. There's Jeremy Conforti. 2 for 2, 2 for 3, 2 singles, 3 RBIs. First pitch. It's a fly ball to right field. Looks like the right fielder will come on in and make the catch for out number 1. So 1 out now for, that looks like Diego Dorin. 2 for 3 with 2 singles, 3 RBIs on the day. 1 in the first. Columbia tied with 1 in the third, 1 in the second, 10 in the third, 9 in the fourth. First pitch. There is a ball. 1-0 to count there on Diego Dorin, sporting those pink gloves. Boy, they look really nice. Tampa's at first. That's a strike call, 1-1 there. One pitch. That's the curveball miss. 2-1. 2-1 to count. Central Methodist on the way to win number 11 on the year. 2-1 pitch. A swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2-2 to count. Tampa is at first. Drew a walk. 2-2. Little cue shot to right field. That's a base hit. Tampa will stop at second. And now looks like Zeb Whitty up there. 3 for 4 with 3 singles and an RBI. 3 R and an RBI. Ladies and 17 hits for Central Methodist. First pitch to him. A swing and a miss, strike 1. But looks like number 13 is on deck, and I believe that's Chase Maddox. 20-1 is our score. The 0-1. It's a liner in the right field. There's a base hit there. And now the bases are loaded full of Eagles. Tampa's at third. Dorin's at second. And now batting for the first time, that's Chase Maddox. He went to Staley High School. Of course, his dad is Brandon Maddox, who used to be the catcher at Central Methodist. And I remember him when, back in the day, he used to hang out with some of my friends named Bobby Strumloft, Scotty Nichols. His mom, Lynn, is a member of the Central Methodist Hall of Fame. And a fly ball. There's his first hit in RBI there. Tampa will score to make it 21-1 now on a sharp single to center. And looks like it is Peyton Becker at the bat. Peyton Becker was the DH. Went 0 for 3 in the first game of our doubleheader. Peyton Becker has a homer and 3 RBIs. 21-1 now. 3 hits already in this inning. The pitch. That's a ball. $21-1. And the 1-0. That's a ball. 2-0 to count. 2 balls and no strikes on Peyton Becker. Two and 2-0 pitch. It's a little chopper. They get the tag out at third, and that's all they can get. So Weedy is out. Weedy is out on the force play, but Duren scores to make it 22-1. So a fielder's choice and an RBI for Peyton Becker. So Trey Vorwald will be the batter. So 22-1 now. 12-16. 3 hits already this inning. First and second, 2 outs. An RBI for Peyton Becker. It's 4th of the year. And there's a swing and a miss, strike 1. Vorwald has been, of course, he has played some game, has been, I believe this is like first plate appearance, but he has been as courtesy runners for Tanner Sears. 0-1 now. Oh, swing and a miss, strike 2. 22-1 now. 0-2 on Trey Vorwald. Two. 0-2 the count. Oh and 2 on Trey Vorwald. 0-2 pitch. 1-2 to count. First and second, 2 outs, 22-1. 1-2 pitch, swings and misses, strike 3. But Central Methodist adds 2 big runs on 3 hits. They leave 2. We head to the 6th. Central Methodist 22, Columbia 1.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
Oh, that's Alex Billow. Good. Oh, don't worry. You know, I'm just. Well, that's okay. Hey, it's fun as a brook. Looks like a new pitcher on the mound. That's Alex Billow from Winter Haven, Florida. 1-0 with a 4.50 ERA, 5 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Looks like a wholesale changes. That's the first baseman, Chase Maddox. Looks like a new second baseman. That's Brandon Theismann. And ladies and gentlemen, he's not related to Joe Theismann because I remember talking to him last week. Looks like Peyton Becker's at short. Remaining at third is Diego Duren. I'm trying to say, I think Weddy's still out in left. I'm trying to think who's out in, I think center fielder is still, no, it's Trey Vorwald at center. 22 runs, 19 hits, and error for Central Methodist. 1 run, 5 hits, and an error for Columbia. Looks like Duffin Makings. He is from a town of Marshall, Missouri. First pitch. That's a ball, 1-0 to count there. Makings is an 0.67 hitter. No homers, no RBIs. Alexander Billows, 1-0 pitch. Hits the ground ball to Peyton Becker. He'll throw over to Chase Maddox for out number 1. And looks like another player just coming into the game. That's Brett Mooney. Mooney. That's a strike call, 0-1 the count. It looks like Jason Pearl's on deck. 0-1 pitch from Alexander Billow. And that's a strike 2. 0-2 the count there. 0-2 the count. Looks like Landon Willingham is in the bullpen. 0-2 pitch. There's the curveball, just missed. 1-2. 1-2 the count there. 22-1. The 1-2 pitch. Hits the ground ball. That's going to roll foul. And it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes on Brett Mooney on deck. It looks like number 23. That's Jason Pearl. One-two pitch. A swing and a miss, strike 3 call. So 2 quick outs down. Here's Jason Pearl from Springfield, Virginia. Where's the 23? Like another famous 23. Ryan Sandberg of the Chicago Cubs. I tell you, he was one fun player for the Cubs. Hits the ground ball to Dale Wren. Goes over to Chase Maddox for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning goes Columbia. We are through 5 1/2. Central Methodist 22. Columbia 1. New pitcher on the mound. That is Noah Sperling. He is from a town of Irvine, California. That's okay. It's been a fun day. It's fun. Let's see. 1, 2, 12, 16, 19. Wow. I think that's Theismann. $22 runs, 19 hits, and an error for Central Methodist. 1 run, 5 hits, and an error for Columbia. As Brandon Theismann is the batter. He's from Wentzville, around the St. Louis area. First pitch to him. That is a ball, 1-0 to count there. Of course, there's another Theismann. Of course, it was Joe Theismann, quarterback of the Redskins, to a Super Bowl title in Super Bowl 17. But when he was at Notre Dame, his original pronunciation was Theismann. And the reason they changed his pronunciation to Theismann because their sports information director at Notre Dame made him change it because he was in the running for the 1970 Heisman Trophy that won by Jim Plunkett of Stanford. 1-2 pitch. 2-2 to count there. Two and 2 on Brandon Theismann. And I'm sure Rachel Moore would encourage him to change it to Theismann. strike 3 call. They'll throw over the first for out number 1. That's Dominic Van Dorn. He flew out to left field his first time up. I believe that's Landon Willingham in the Central Methodist bullpen. We'll probably see him in the 7th inning. First pitch to him. A swing and a miss. Strike 1 there. 0-1 the count. A little past 5:15 on this Sunday. Strike 2. 0-2 the count on Dominic Van Dorn. I believe Nick Tampa's on deck. Hits the ground ball to third. Third baseman has it. Throw the first. And there's 2 quick outs. Here's Nick Tampa. He drew a walk and scored a run in that 6th inning there. Hey, it's fun as a bro. I'm just having 22-1. First pitch. That is a strike call on the outside corner. 0-1 to count, and I believe that is number 25. Cooper Keel from Bowling Green. And I'm sure my friend Steve Fouts, Lance Cox from Bowling Green, also my friend from Louisiana, B.J. Adams, are listening in on the broadcast. The 1-1. 2-1 the count there. Along with some other friends like Niall Thudium, Bobby Strumloff, Dwayne White, Leroy Schwartz, Jeremy Booth. 2-1 pitch. 3-1 the count there. And you may remember Cooper Keel, he was behind the plate when I threw out the ceremonial pitch in last year's game against Peru State. 3-1 pitch. It's a little ground ball. There's a base hit for Nick Tampa, the 20th hit of the game. How about that? So Cooper Keel is the batter. And, of course, I got to meet his grandma and grandpa and his mom, who are our attendants today. Over 46,000 on hand for both games. 46,210 for the game with Oklahoma City. Now another 46,400 for the game with Columbia College. And a pop-up there on the first pitch. And there's the third out. So no runs on 1 hit. No errors, 1 left. We head to the 7th. Central Methodist 22, Columbia 1. That's what I saw. Do. The new pitcher on the man, Landon Willingham. He is from Hazlet, Texas. There you see the numbers, 0.03 ERA, 2 walks. Actually, 2 strikeouts on the season. That's okay. I'm having fun. Central Methodist lost the first game to Oklahoma City 6-4. They're leading 22-1. Of course, the next game up for the baseball will be Saturday. We'll be taking on Graceland. Game 1-2, the doubleheader on Saturday. Pre-game show 12:45. First pitch at 1 o'clock. And then games 3 and 4 on Sunday. Pre-game show 12:45, 1 o'clock first pitch. Columbia, their next game is on Friday. They'll be taking on Viterbo down at Battle High School. And here is their pinch hitter, Nick Molinax. It's a high fly ball. That's a base hit there. That's the 7th hit of the game for Columbia College. There's Miles Jasper. He struck out his first time up. Actually, the 6th hit of the game, the first since the 4th inning. First pitch to him. There's a strike call. 0-1 to count. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the 0-1. Oh, a beautiful pitch on the inside corner. 0-2. Tyler Davis is on deck. 0-2. Oh. 1-2 on the count. Miles Jasper is the center fielder. 1-2. Little chopper. Van Dorn's only plays the first. Nice stretch there by Chase Maddox for the out. So 2-3 on your scorecard. 1 down, 2 to go for Tyler Davis, who grounded out to third. First pitch to him. Oh, a beautiful pitch on the outside corner. Good job of framing it by Dominic Van Dorn, as Joe Garagiola used to say on NBC television. 0-1 now. Oh, another one on the inside corner. The old Bob Gibson curveball. 0-2 the count. Willingham with a 22-1 lead. And a strike 3 call. So 2 outs now, 1 to go. And here's Sutton Hanks. He drew a walk his first time up. Hanks drew a walk. And there's a strike call, 0-1 now. 6 hits altogether. 4 good innings from Foster Seitz. Then an inning apiece from Justin Steedray, Nathan Billow, and then, of course, Landon Willingham to close it out. 1-1 pitch. Fouls it to the screen. Just 1 strike away for win number 11. For the 11th victory of 2024 for Central Methodist. The 1-2 pitch. Misses inside, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes, heading toward the 5:30 hour. Two pitch. Misses that one, 3-2. Been a fun day. What a fun day. Beautiful weather, 2 games of baseball. What else? 3-2. Lines a shot. That is a base hit there. And they're going to hold the runners at first and third now. The 7th hit of the game for Columbia College. And here is there's Bailey Quint. Oh, he was hit by a pitch his first time up. Wetton Norris in the catbird seat. Looking forward to Tuesday with the men's basketball taking on Peru State in the Carter Conference quarterfinals. Pre-game show 6:45, 7 o'clock first pitch, and of course baseball on Saturday. Taking on Graceland with the pregame at 12:45, 1 o'clock, and then 12:45 on Sunday, and then 1 o'clock first pitch of the doubleheader. That is a foul ball. Strike 2. 0-2 the count. Mullinex is at third. And at first base is Sutton Hanks. Oh, 2. Foul ball, still 0-2. And on deck is Dylan Carlton. 0-2. Little chopper fouled. 0-2 the count on Bailey Quint. Quint. 0-2 the count. 0-2 pitch. Lines a shot that is caught by the left fielder, and there's the ball game. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors. They leave 2, and there is the ball game. The final score is Central Methodist 22 and Columbia 1. We'll give you the final line numbers there. 22 runs on 20 hits and 1 error. 21 run, 7 hits, and an error for Columbia College. Central Methodist is now 11-3 on the year. Columbia College goes to 8-8. Well, of course, Tuesday night, the Central Methodist men's basketball team will take on Peru State in the Higher American Conference quarterfinals. 7 o'clock start time. Pre-game show at 6:45 p.m. Women will play at Clark University on Wednesday for a 7 o'clock start time. Pre-game show at 6:45 p.m. as well. And, of course, softball will be in Gulf Shores, Alabama. But the baseball team, they'll be back here on Saturday with a doubleheader against Graceland. Pre-game show 12:45. First pitch at 1 of the doubleheader. Then games 3 and 4 will be played on Sunday with a pre-game show at 12:45. 1 o'clock start time as well. This is Quentin Norris saying so long. That's 7,291 and the 22nd 100th Central Methodist game. So long, everybody.